Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of Edmentum, Illinois, Friday Fact, Fiction, and Fuzzy. Back here today with my partners here in Illinois, Kevin Gallman and Tom Bukowski, who is our Regional Vice President, and we're just thrilled and honored to have Jason Stipp with us. Jason is the principal of Waubonsie Valley High School in the Indian Prairie School District, and we're just really excited to talk with him a little bit and get a feel for how things are going there with his high school students. For those of you who don't follow him on Twitter yet, his handle is at WVHS Stipp, S-T-I-P-P. Jason, welcome. Thanks for being with us today. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks, Jason and Kevin and Tom, for having me and for continuing to get voices out there in education during this crazy time. Appreciate it.
So, as we've said and as we've done in the past, we look at our three areas: our fact, fiction, and fuzzy. So we'll start off. What is a fact that you've experienced during this time?
Well, looking at the sign behind you, it's that the Bears are in major quarterback issues. So I can appreciate I love the view from the back. That is kind of sums it up. But for education, non-sport wise, I think a fact that one thing that has really come out is the importance of what community plays in schools. And I'm being in high school. I'm a big believer in that because I feel that that high schools are one of the first senses of community for some of our students. So much is virtual. So much of their life is on social media where their friends and relationships are spread out. And I think high school kind of creates that sense where you're a part of something bigger than yourself. And, in our building, there's 2,700 students here. So I always tell our freshmen, 600 of you are coming in, joining 1,800 other students to make this something greater. So the fact is that's never been more important. I think the thing we're starting to see is some students are opting. Currently, we're in a hybrid option where you can choose to come in person, or you can choose to stay home. And I worry about the fact is the soft skills that school teaches of getting up, having purpose, getting in the building, engaging with people, and just the rigmarole of life, that is important moving on just as much as calc, biology, chemistry, and social studies is. So I think some of those soft skills that we've always been bemoaned a little bit in a school setting have never been more important. And I think we're really going to have to double down on them as we come out of this into the fall.
Well, it's really interesting to hear continuing themes and a lot of those things that aren't necessarily we haven't measured in the past are really coming to light now, and that's a really interesting outlook. What is something that's been a fiction, something that hasn't necessarily been true?
I think over the next couple months and even this summer, I think we're going to hear this thing of needing to catch up. And I don't necessarily know if that's going to have to be true because I think we tend to think the catch up is what we think the bar should be. And that not necessarily is something, if we start pouring all this stuff and trying to catch students up academically where we think that they need to know or be, as opposed to just kind of meeting them where they are. And like I said, kind of talk about some of these soft skills and just getting them in the routine of this, we're really going to miss out on an opportunity and supporting our students. So to me, I think there's going to be a lot of talk about the gap. I think some of that stuff with the gap is not going to be as much academic as it's just going to be preparing our students to be citizens again and to persevere. Reading Ken Burns really connected with me on social media last week, I think, because he said the great American historian said, there are 4 points in our history that really, kind of defined American history. The Civil War, the Great Depression, World War II, and then he named this period that we're going through now in the last several years. So that's a powerful thing. And for us to get caught up in this idea of you're not where your other class were, I think we're really going to miss an opportunity in not supporting our students and helping them make something greater as they move forward.
Great points there, Jason. The final is a fuzzy. So as your day 2 of kids back in the building, we're kind of moving from the the Storman to the Norman, as I like to call it. The fuzzy, what fuzzy have you experienced? And that's kind of it could be a validation of why you do what you do. What's, validating your why. What's a fuzzy you've seen through this period?
Thanks for that question, Tom. For me, it's weird. I just greeted our incoming freshmen a couple of weeks ago virtually, and I've been principal almost a full year through this pandemic now, and technically my role hasn't changed. I'm still here. There's 2,600 students here. There's 300 some staff, but the reality is that I can say I've been pretty naive and blessed because for the first time, I can honestly say I really have not enjoyed my work. And I've never experienced that in my academic career, in my career. So, but the reality is, as much as the job hasn't been more difficult for me, it's just been with less joy and with much less purpose. And I've had more time at home, which is great. And I haven't been here 4 to 5 nights a week, but I also have missed watching kids get to a level and shine. So I have really missed my purpose. And I did receive a handwritten note from a student that really connected with me a couple weeks ago and just talked about, his words were, "You will help me if I come to you. You'll trust me and I can tell you anything. And I know I can finish strong. And you are one of the people that encouraged me to do that." And for me, that was a moment of how important this role is and how important it is going to get our students back. And we went through a lot historically this past year. And I'm just happy to be part of an organization and part of something where I could help students through that. So those are the things that have really helped drive me, because we don't get a lot of that validation. I don't see a lot of that right now, but it's starting to come in the building, and I'm looking forward to starting the beginning of the end of this whole journey.
That's pretty powerful. Gave me goosebumps. I mean, that's one of the things our CEO kind of presents to us is, what's your why? Why do you do what we do? And that's a perfect validation of that. So, Jason, so grateful, so appreciative of you taking the time out of your start of your school day today. Great to catch you up. Jason and KG, appreciate you allowing me to speak. These guys never really allow me to talk on this platform. So it's been an honor to be part of the Illinois Fact, Fiction, and Fuzzy. We'll see this on our YouTube Illinois channel. And again, thanks for your time, Jason. Much appreciated.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Jason.
Yeah. Thank you for doing this. And again, for just promoting the great things that are happening and keeping everyone connected. I appreciate it. So thank you.